Hi, welcome to this video how to create a Spring Boot project in Eclipse with me Nam Haming from codejava.net. In this video, you will learn how to create a simple Spring Boot project in Eclipse IDE. In this tutorial, I'm using Eclipse Oxygen version with JDK 8 Oxygen. And to start creating a Spring Boot project, the best way is to use a Spring web tool called Spring Initializr. To access this tool, you type start spring.io. Spring.io. This is a very useful, powerful web tool that allows you to generate code for a Spring Boot project as a Maven project or Redro project with Java, Kotlin or Groovy language, and to a version of Spring Boot. Here type the group ID is net.codejava and artifact is a project name my web app. Okay, and under the dependencies type the type of project you want to create. Here I type web to create a full stack web development project with Spring MVC and embedded Tomcat web server, and click generate project to generate code for the project. You can click switch to the full version to see full options. You see, click generate project to generate code for the project. It's a zip file. Click save. Here I save the zip file in my computer in codejava directory. This is also a workspace on Eclipse, and you can see the directory.metadata here. So okay, and now let's go back to Eclipse and apply import general project from folder or archive. Next, and select the directory to import, and you have to extract this zip file first. Extract here. You see my web app directory is created here. You see the skeleton of a Spring Boot project. You see. Now let's import this project into Eclipse. Click directory. Okay. And you see Eclipse can detect this as a Maven project, so it say import as Maven, and click finish. So we have a Maven project created. Okay. Double click the Maven project file pom.xml. You see. Wait for a moment, and Eclipse converts the project into Java Maven project. Double click the pom.xml file here. You see this is the content of the project, Maven project. Description file pom.xml. As you can see, this is a typical pom.xml file for a Spring Boot project. It inherits from the parent Spring Boot starter parent. Okay, let me increase the font size. Levels, general, editor, text editor. No, font, color and fonts. Edit. Okay, no problem. This Spring Boot starter parent device common defaults such as Java version, source encoding, various Maven plugin configurations for Java Spring framework development, resource filtering, and so on. And in this project, we have dependency Spring Boot starter web, which is Spring Boot starter specifying a group of dependencies for developing a Java web application such as Spring Web MVC and Embed Tomcat Server. This is the next dependency for test a Spring project, but for this Hello World application, we don't need to test, so you can delete this dependency. Click Save. And the plugin Spring Boot Maven plugin enables automatic creation of an executable Java file for standalone Java web application with an embedded Tomcat server. You can see the dependency hierarchy here. You can see Spring Web MVC, Spring Boot Starter Web, Spring Core, Tomcat Embed Core. You see. And there's an error in the test uh, folder. We don't need test, so delete this test class in the test folder. Okay. And let's see the Java code generated in the project. You can see my web app application.java here. This is very simple Spring Boot application. Since we need to create a simple web application, so we use the add REST controller annotation. REST controller. Okay. This annotation tells Spring that this class is a web component, uh, so its controller method should return the result as a string directly to the client. And the next annotation we need to add is enable auto configuration. This annotation tells Spring Boot to automatically configure the application based on the specified dependency in the pom.xml. And since we specify Spring Boot starter web, Spring Boot, we configure our application as a Spring MVC with an embedded Tomcat server. And we need to implement a method, write a method to handle HTTP request. Here, string home using the add request mapping annotation. Request mapping. If you are familiar with Spring MVC, you understand this annotation. This request mapping annotation provides routing information for Spring Dispatcher servlet. It specifies any HTTP requests with this path / should be handled by this method. Okay, and in this method we simply return a string. Hello one Spring Boot. Okay, that's it. And this is the main method. The main entry point to the application. We call the static method run of the Spring application class to bootstrap our web application. We specify the class my web app application as the first parameter, first argument to in this method to specify that this class is a web component, and the application command line arguments, the array string is passed through to this method, so we can configure application settings via command line arguments. Okay, and to run our Spring Boot application, just run this class as a normal Java application. You can click the run button here, run as a Java application, and you see the logo of Spring Boot appears here in the console view. Here in the console view, you can see the Tomcat web server started on port 8080, and you can see the mapped URL here. The / is mapped to our home method, you see. Now let's access our web application using internal web browser in Eclipse window. So view as a search for web internal web browser, open, and type the URL http://localhost:8080/ and hit enter. What happened? There's an error with the internal web browser. No problem, we can test with Chrome browser. Copy and go to Chrome browser. Open a new tab and paste the URL. Hit enter. You see, the text "Hello World Spring Boot" appears. That means our web application is up and running, right? And now click this red button to stop the server. And let's make some change. Let's add some HTML tag here. For example, HTML, heading, body, heading 1, and create another controller method, for example, string new form request mapping. We specify the URL path for this method is new, okay, and return heading to HTML tag, create a new thing. Okay, let's run the application again. Run as Java application. You see now, you see the new path is mapped /new is mapped to new form method. Okay. Let's try to refresh our internal web browser. No problem. Let's try again in Chrome. Refresh. And now see Hello World Spring Boot. The text appear larger in bold because we use heading 1 tag. See, and let's try to append the path /new, and you see the text create a new thing appears here. That exact what we return here in the new form method. And under the project directory, refresh. Let to package the Spring Boot application as a standalone Java application in an executable Java file. You can run the Maven go here. Maven. Then let's Maven build. Okay. And specify the goal is package. Click run. We got build error here, build failure. No compiler is provided in this environment. I think we should change the runtime to JDK properties. Environment is JIE at next Java JDK 1.8. Okay, finish, blind close. So here we use JDK. JDK 1.8. Okay, JDK 1.8. I don't know why it's so Java SE 1.7, but apply close. It actually is JDK 1.8. Okay, and run the Maven Go again. Run as Maven build. The Go is package. Click run. And you see build success. Very good. And you see the message building jar, and this is the executable jar file of our Spring Boot project. And let's look at our directory. You see the executable jar file here, and you can run the Spring Boot application as the standalone Java application by executing this jar file. Let's open the command prompt and change the directory to our project directory. Okay, and type Java command with the -jar option and followed by the jar file name. Hit enter, and you see Spring Boot application started with embedded Tomcat server. You can see an error message because the port 8080 is in use. So we need to stop our program running here. Console view. We need to terminate our program here and run again. Spring Boot logo appears. And you see the server is up and running now. Let's try to access the application here. You see a string of dispatcher service is invoked in the logging. You can see, and try / new. You see. To stop the server in command prompt, press Ctrl C. See the server stopped, and try to refresh. the browser, you will see an error. So far you have learned how to create a Spring Boot project in Eclipse IDE with me, Nam Haming from codejava.net, and thank you for watching. See you in the next video tutorial.